Sean, one of the charities that I admire most in the Las Vegas area is Safe Nest. Many of you know of them, of course, and you know what they do. They help over 50,000 people annually. We're talking about victims of domestic abuse and their families. Well, typically in the fall, they have a run to raise money. In fact, I believe that you and I, Sean, were going to host it.
We
But
did.
this
Yeah,
year,
we do.
guess what? It's all gone virtual, Sean.
Of course it has. 2020, isn't it great? Liz Ortenberger, she's the CEO of Safe Nest, and she's going to find a way to make this thing happen one way or another. Liz, it's great having you. How are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm fantastic, and thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. The virtual
Absolutely.
5K we're going to get into in just a second. But first of all, let's talk about the mission of Safe Nest and the great work you do here in the community.
Thank you. Well, our mission is simple. It's to end the epidemic of domestic violence, and we do that by working with victims, batterers, and the children that are affected.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's more important than ever. During the pandemic, Liz, you've unfortunately seen a real uptick in calls, haven't you?
We have not only in calls, which have over the long period now, we're at a 20% sustained regular increase,
Wow.
but also our bed nights. We're at 150% of our normal capacity for bed nights, and we're doing that all safely and with a scalable solution. And now we're seeing that trickle into requests for court support and advocacy and our counseling department. So the entire organization has seen a massive wave of increase and need.
Wow. It's absolutely
Mhm.
necessary that
Wow.
that your mission continues then. Let's talk about the shelter in particular, confidential shelter, right?
Yeah, so we run a confidential shelter and we have housing throughout Clark County, which is something that we started to do before the pandemic. And I'm so glad we did with some really strategic partners so that we can get everybody safe,
Yeah.
including our male and transgender clients who sometimes don't feel comfortable in the communal living environment at shelter.
Yeah.
So that has been a priority for us. And we measure everybody's safety on a lethality scale. So when we're doing this work, it's not just, oh, you seem safe, you seem unsafe. It's documented, evidence based work that we do. And if you have a score of 11 or higher on the scale we use, we will find a safe housing option for you because you're escalating towards further abuse and homicide.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow. I mean, it's just incredible. And I know a little bit about your organization, how well trained your staff and volunteers are. It's just incredible how you're able to help people. And this would be a great time to mention that you do have this 24/7 confidential hotline. We want everybody who might be watching, whether this is affecting you right now in your family or somebody near you, even a neighbor. We want them to know this phone number, Liz.
Yes, 702-646-4981. And I'll also give a plug. We've had a program now for about 2 years that we run with Metro where we actually respond alongside the officers on domestic violence 911 calls.
Wow.
So we will show up at your house for that domestic violence 911 call and provide that confidential advocacy in person to victims on scene. And that has really been a lifesaver for so many of our clients through this pandemic because many admit we don't know that we ever would have called you, but now that you're here and we understand the breadth of your services, we want
Yeah.
to engage and I want to get my children safe.
Super important work that you do, and one way that we help you do it is by taking part in some great events. Now, this year, the 5K Run for Hope was supposed to take place, and it's not happening the way it was expected to happen because 2020, everything is meh. But there's a
Right.
virtual 5K happening, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Tell us what you have planned.
There is. So essentially, it's as easy as this. You go online, you register, we send you a t shirt and a medal, or you're able to come pick those up, and you complete the 5K at your own pace, on your
Love it.
own time frame, however you'd like to do it. So the cost this year, I love vanity pricing. It's $39.99, and you get a really cool shirt, which also advertises our number, which I love because I've had lots of ladies tell me at the gym, I see your shirt, and I just jotted down that number for a friend of mine. So you're in a lot of ways helping spread the mission just by signing up and getting this shirt. But your $40 goes to support all the incredible work we're doing, including last week we opened our own school at the shelter because, of course, our kids can't go to school this
Oh,
year.
Wow.
So
Smart.
we have a whole distance learning
wow.
program at the shelter, completely unplanned expense, but we've got a bunch of kids in there. They're all connecting to their classrooms. We're not going to let children of domestic violence be left behind in this pandemic. So your $40 goes to help support that, along with pets and everybody else that we're keeping safe during this
Yes.
really trying time.
It's awesome.
I love that you also take care of the pets because they are part of the
Yes.
family. It's so amazing. And Liz, the great thing, I was giggling, sorry, during that because I was thinking this is the perfect run for Sean. Sean,
Yeah.
finally, a 5K that you can take part in. You can just send your money in and get your t-shirt.
That's exactly. I get a
Perfect.
medal and I get to stay right here. It's great. Now, I
Yes.
mean, you should run, but if you don't want to, you always wanted a medal. Be like, look
Who's
at this
counting?
5K I completed. Who's to say?
Yes, you
Listen,
could do the couch potato 5K.
I'm
Here
all
you
about
go.
it. Been doing that. I've been training for
That's
that one for
hilarious.
years.
That's right. Sean, you're going to win. Speaking of winning, one of us in this interview, I believe the lady, to my left, happens to be an amazing runner. So, Liz, I have seen you win races more than once around this town. I've done some 5Ks with you. I'm just curious on a personal level, how has your running been during the pandemic? Have you increased your mileage or are you about doing the usual?
So unfortunately, like women of a certain age, I'm battling a foot injury that's pesky, but I have been
Oh,
working out and I did a 24-minute practice 5K the other day. So I'm ready.
I was gonna say if the actual 5K was happening, this could maybe be your chance to beat her. But no,
Yeah.
listen, she's too resilient. She's too fast. Liz,
she's amazing.
it's great getting to talk to you. And honestly, last year's event was so much fun. I'm glad that something's going on for this year, and we look forward to 2021 where we can hopefully get all back together and do it again.
Thank you. Me too. And thanks again so much for highlighting the race.
A pleasure as always. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Always.
Listen,
Thank you, Liz.
it's a great organization and a great way to give back. $39.99, not $40. That would be too expensive. $39.99 registration free gets you a swag bag, and you get a custom SafeNet tote bag, and a T-shirt and a tank top and a participant medal as well. If you want to take part in this virtual 5K Run for Hope, safenest.org is a great website to check out. You also need to know that 24-hour confidential hotline if you or someone you know needs it. Call 702-646-4981.